One of the hallmarks of a narcissist, especially a narcissistic abuser, is that they are always the victim and always God. They're always right, but they're always the victim. So, since social media kind of turns us all into a bit of a narcissist from time to time, the way to ensure that you can eliminate at least half of that problem is not by saying, "Woe is me, I am a sinner," but instead looking at the other side and saying, "I am not a victim. I will take responsibility for my life, for everything in my life, for all the choices I make, for the outcomes. And if the outcomes of someone that I trust, that I hire, that I delegate to, that I contract, etc., are not good, I need to still take responsibility for that as well. I need to be the quarterback of my life, which means I need to know what every player on the field is doing, and if they make mistakes, maybe I need to see if I could have put them in a better position to make a better play, thrown the ball better, etc., or even called a better play." So I find that that's one of the easiest ways to cut the temptation to be a narcissist by 50% immediately, is just, I will never be a victim. Victimhood has been a currency over the last decade, unfortunately, maybe longer. And so we've had this hierarchy of victims. That's what DEI was. Essentially, the lower that you were on the scale of societal hierarchy according to the social justice warriors, the higher your victimhood score, the more currency that you had in society. That seems to be coming to an end, and we're finally going to go back to a completely merit-based society, which is the only way that you can truly build civilization. It's the only way that you can have a rational, functioning society. But in our own lives personally, it needs to be the same way. Get rid of all victimhood mentality. Just choose to never, ever be a victim. And it might take some time if you're not in the practice of taking responsibility for absolutely everything, good and bad, but especially the bad, and not blaming other people, not externalizing those things that happen. But once you start to get into the mindset, you'll realize, like, it is empowering, number one, and number two, you don't have that tendency to both be correct and God-like figure in your life, but also the victim, which creates cognitive dissonance, and it creates this insecure feedback loop in your own self that drives you crazy. And so if you can eliminate at least half of that right off the bat by just saying, "I'm never going to be a victim," then you can focus on the other side, which is your arrogance. And honestly, arrogance is a much more positive thing. So this is about pointing positive. Being a victim is pointing negative. Whereas if you can get rid of that, and you're never going to do that, you're going to focus on the positive, then the one thing that then you have to ensure is your arrogance, your self-esteem, your pride is coming from within, that you are earning your own self-respect, that it is not coming from external validation. And then if you begin to focus on that as your driving motivation, how can I earn my own self-respect today? Rather than trying to seek external validation, you get it from within, you're going to eliminate another huge chunk of potential temptation to be a narcissist, and you will be driving towards your own goals, motivated from within by your own purpose, and taking full responsibility for your decisions, your actions, and the outcomes. That's a pretty good way to live.